Hello to everyone at St Stephen's. It's really lovely to be able to join with you all today, even though we are physically distant. And I do long for the time when I will be able to meet each one of you face to face. I have really appreciated all the support and encouragement that you as a church have given me over the past year as I've started up chaplaincy at the Northern Beaches Hospital. It's always encouraging every month to receive an email from Margaret from the church office asking to send in all my prayer points to share with you all. It has meant a lot to me to know that you've been keeping me in your prayers, because I know that every day I get into work, I need to depend upon God in prayer, and I'm really thankful that you are all partners with me in this ministry. And also, thank you for inviting me into your service today to be able to share with you a little bit about me and also some of the things that have been happening in the hospital. So sharing my life story in about 45 seconds. I'm married to Mark. We currently have no kids, but I do have amazing nephews and nieces who I adore and love spending time with. I was born in Malaysia as my parents were missionaries there for 10 years. So I've grown up as a missionary and a minister's kid, but I've been really thankful to have had the privilege of being taught what it means to live life with Jesus as my king from when I was young. Some things that I enjoy doing in my spare time. I enjoy spending time with my family and friends, playing board games at the moment. This is just a small section of what we have in our house. I've been really enjoying escape games at the moment. Lots of fun. I also really enjoy playing lots of different types of sports. At the moment, I've been playing competitions in OzTag and table tennis, but I do enjoy playing also cricket and basketball. Previous to becoming a chaplain, I used to be a high school teacher in maths and science, but for the last 11 years, I've worked at Waitara Anglican Church in the parish. Well, what are some of my goals as a hospital chaplain? Well, I've been placed in the hospital through the organisation Anglicare, and their goal for me is to support and pastorally care for all the staff, patients, family and friends who come to the Northern Beaches Hospital. That goal is pretty broad, isn't it? And what I'm doing in these first few years will be different to what might be happening for a chaplain in 5 to 10 years' time. So at the moment, I have a really unique goal in this hospital because it's a brand new hospital. And Healthscope have never had a full-time chaplain dedicated in their hospitals before. So another main goal for me is to help make chaplaincy part of the normal in the hospital, so that there is an awareness of pastoral care in the hospital and local community, so that staff, patients, families and friends, they all know how to access chaplaincy or pastoral care. So how have I been doing this? Well, one of my main aims is to be getting to know the staff well throughout the hospital, in all the different areas. I want the staff to know that pastoral care is not just for the patients, but also for them. So I've been introducing myself to staff as I wander around the hospital. But one thing that I've found really helpful over the past year is that I introduced myself alongside chocolate brownie muffins. Over the year, I have shared brownie muffins to all the different wards, and on the boxes that I hand out to them, I have a little bit of information about who I am and what I can offer, and also a way of being able to contact me. A few months ago, I was speaking to some nurses, and they said to me, "Thanks so much for the Jesus muffins." And I was a little surprised that they were calling them Jesus muffins, but really thankful that they knew I wasn't the muffin lady, but that I was the chaplain in the hospital and that I was trying to shine Jesus in all that I do. Over the year, I think I've probably made about 2,800 muffins and shared them throughout the whole hospital. And it has been a really wonderful way of not only having the staff know who I am, but showing them that I'm there to care and support them in whatever they are doing. Some exciting things have happened in the past year, and one of the things in working with staff is that the palliative and aged care team have been great at referring patients to me. And the aged care team have also partnered with me in running music sessions in the wards for the patients. And this has been such an excellent way to meet patients. For some of them, if I hadn't had these musical opportunities, then they wouldn't have known that pastoral care would have been available for them in hospital. So it's been great to have them. One of the interesting and sometimes painful experiences so far in the hospital has been the process and system in how I can meet with patients. And one of the most important things for people to understand is that for a patient to get a visit from a chaplain within the Northern Beaches Hospital is that they have to give permission for the chaplain to visit. Otherwise, we will have no idea that you are in the hospital. Because I don't get access to a list of all the Christians who are in the hospital, only a list to those who have given me permission to see them. So this can be done in a number of ways. First way is through the admission form. There is a tick box after noting which religion you are that you can tick yes or no to as to whether you want a visit from the chaplain. Now, sometimes I can understand that during your time in emergency, you're not thinking about wanting the chaplain to come and visit you. So maybe you don't tick yes for a chaplain at that time, and that's okay. But if during your time in the ward you'd like to have a visit from the chaplain, then ask the nurses and social workers or occupational therapists or the doctors, get them to call me and refer me to you. Because that's a really great way of me finding out that you're in hospital. But I also understand that each day could be very different for you. How you feel or what you're going through on that particular day might change. So as chaplains, we'll always come to visit you knowing that the time and day might not be the right time for a visit. So you're always free to say, come back another time or not today. I think is really important to know that. The other way which I've known about patients within the hospital is when friends or family of a patient or the minister of a church has been in touch with me to say, oh, so-and-so is in hospital and would love a visit from you. So when I get those messages, then I would go and see if the patient would like a visit with me. And so I guess at this point, I really want to get across to you that if at some point in your hospital stay, you might like a visit from the chaplain, please let me know that you're in the hospital in one of those ways. And if you do, then I'll definitely come and visit you. And just to let you know, you're also always welcome to say, please come back another time. One of the important things to know as well is, well, what do chaplains do? I mean, you've asked for a chaplain visit. Well, what does that look like? Well, I've had one experience where I turned up to visit a young patient and they knew I was coming, but they still looked quite scared and concerned as I came into the room because they had the idea that a chaplain came to visit when you're at the end of your life. And yes, that is one of my roles as a chaplain, but my main role in any situation is to listen. To listen to patients or to family members, to listen and for them to know that I'm there for them, to share whatever joys, fears, doubts, worries that they might have on their mind. And if they would like it, I'm there to encourage them in their faith in any way that I can. Sometimes that might be reading the Bible and praying together. Sometimes it's talking through questions and doubts that they might have about God. And some other things that I've done with patients whilst in hospital is I've played cards with them or rummy cub. And even some chess, even though I'm quite bad at it. But I'm wanting in all my interactions to be able to share the hope and comfort that Jesus brings to us in this life. I've also had the great privilege of bringing my guitar around to the different wards throughout the hospital. And in particular, I've been able to get into the mental health wards. And again, this has been such a great way of meeting with patients. And just recently, they've made some of my music sessions official in their program, which means more patients are able to be connected with the chaplain and have opportunity to chat with me. And I have had some really great conversations within the mental health wards and great opportunities of sharing the good news of Jesus, especially through music. I play music of all sorts. I've got about over 150 songs, ranging from Christian hymns like "How Great Thou Art" and Be Thou My Vision to some modern day Christian songs to songs like from Katy Perry or the Beatles, and I've even got some Metallica in there. So it's a wide range for patients to be able to choose, but it's just a joy to be able to see see patients kind of choose a song where I'm able to sing the good news of Jesus, and that's just really a great opportunity. Well, what do I see the role of a local church like St. Stephen's in relation to my work? How can we continue our partnership? Well, one thing that I am so grateful for, as I've already mentioned, is your prayer support. And I pray that you might continue to pray with me, pray for the pastoral care ministry within the hospital, and that we'll be able to continue all the work we're doing and that it will continue to grow. Please also continue to spread throughout the community how people can access pastoral care within the hospital if they want it. Part of that could be contacting me and letting me know about friends and family that are in the hospital. And this is a card that has my details on it, that you can contact me, my mobile number or my email, and you're welcome to contact me at any time. There should be some within your church that you'll be able to grab as well. But lastly, I'd love for you to continue to be a church who is welcoming and loving to people. Because in my conversations with staff and with patients, if I can, I encourage them to connect with their local church. And it's a really wonderful thing for me to be confident in being able to recommend a church who I know will be loving and welcoming to all who enter it. And I appreciate knowing that you are a church like this. So please continue to do that. Now, just in some other news, just to let you know that in the past week, there have been some changes in my role in the hospital, especially due to the COVID-19 virus. The biggest change for me is that as a non-essential volunteer, the hospital have asked for me to stay away from the hospital unless I'm called in for a patient who is at end of life. So that's going to be a change over the next few months. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But please continue to talk with your minister. He will be updated with what's going to be happening for me over the time. But please pray. Please continue to pray for those who might be in Northern Beaches Hospital, who are in need of pastoral care at this time, and who might not be able to access it due to these restrictions. So please pray that I might be able to get back into the hospital as soon as possible. But thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure being able to talk with you this morning or today. Thank you. See you later.